Do you hear the sound? All right. Let me get the chat going.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. I have so many different things here trying to control. All right, here's the Zoom. All right. All right, so if you're in the chat, yeah, if there's anything you can message me, if anything, as we go today. Let me just double check that we are on Facebook. I wanted to get, not Facebook, on YouTube. All right, just want to make sure that we are on. Yeah, are we on? Live. Oh, yes, it seems as if we're on. Okay. All right, just want to make sure that we're live. And we are. So we have no excuse. We can now begin. All right, shalom everyone, and welcome once again to, let me get this thing control, refresh this. Yeah, welcome to Just a Word, Kazak Eliyahu, and we're here for another Shabbat teaching. And we look at the topic. What is the topic today? The kingdom of Aluah is within you. That is the topic today. It's very revealing, people. Very revealing topic this is. And it is paired, of course, it is not independent. It is paired with another of Yahusha's famous pronouncements. My kingdom is not of this world. So it is a double-edged sword, as it were. Combination of two. Shalom. Sobida. Shalom. Isis, Radcliffe, Yahuda, Steve P., all those who are on Shabbat. Shalom to you all. I hope you have a great Shabbat wherever you are. So let us begin with what we have today. The kingdom of Aluah is within you. And we begin it with a question. We start it with a question. The kingdom of Aluah is within you. This comes from Luke 17:20-21. Is it? Yeah, it's not done there. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of Aluah should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of Aluah cometh not with observation. Neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of Aluah is within you. So it does not come with observation. So it's not like a kingdom where you can say, okay, I am going to this country. The kingdoms would be equivalent to countries today, So you say, okay, I'm going to Uganda, I'm going to Germany, I'm going to whatever. It's not with observation. And they can't say it is here or it is there. Oh, you need to take, it takes you 2 days to reach to Germany, a few hours to reach to such and such of a country. Okay? The kingdom of Aluah is within you. If you look at the meaning of within, it is the Hebrew word entos, which means from inside. From inside. Now, what does this inside actually mean? What does this inside mean? To get this, we can look at the one other use of the word entos, the Greek word entos in the Bible, and the one other use. I forgot that I never set up these things, so I should be moving around. Yeah, the meaning of the use of the word entos is when Yahusha used it in Matthew 23 when he was giving it to the Pharisees. And he said, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess, and of course, is speaking about the body. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that is within the body, the cup and platter, that the outside may be clean, the appearance may be clean. When you cleanse the inside, then the outside will be clean. And will be clean does not literally mean just literally looking clean, because we know that this is true like when it comes to health. If you give your body good food, whatever, then it is shown on the inside. What you eat, if you eat garbage, then garbage will show on the inside. Okay? So it is what is inside of us which is important. And someone rightly said the fruits of the Ruach inside is shown outside, and that is perfectly so. All right? So it is first dealing with the inside. And what is the problem with this? The problem with this is religion. Is religion. It is actually people. What is this thing? Okay. It is actually people who justify themselves by what they believe in. Yeah, justify themselves by what they believe in. So, the inside is not, the focus is not on the inside, the focus is what is on the outside. So, how we look outside, how we appear to people, how religious we appear, how we appear to be believers. There's great emphasis on that. And this we get when our brothers are out on the road and they're telling people, oh, where is your beard? Where is your this? Where is your that? When we teach people, we have to teach people righteousness. And when we teach them righteousness, then they will be convinced. They themselves will come to you and will ask, or not even ask, they will look and read and see, and they will know that something is missing. But when you tell people about on the outside, just going people on the outside, you are actually telling people to decorate themselves to appear to be in right standing. So it has to be what is on the inside. So that is why when you come here, we preach righteousness. We preach change. We preach transformation. And anyone who comes around us or comes with us and is not willing and does not have the mind for righteousness, for perfection, anyone who does not have the mind is going to feel very uncomfortable and is not going to feel good listening to us or being around us. All right? This you get in Christianity again, church. Oh, you just come to church. You go, you baptize, you come to church on Sundays, you pay your tithes and your offerings, you come and you worship. If there is Bible studies, you come to Bible studies. If there is any contribution, you pay tithes and offerings. So if anything is needed in the church, you help with the church. If there's any giving, the church is giving and they are going to care for the poor, you do that. Those are little things that you do on the outside, but the inside, there is no focus on the inside. Sorry to say. Yeah? Yeah. So, the true, real kingdom of Aluah in us. Now this thing is a mess. I am messing up all over. Let me get this thing going. All right, this is a mess, but we'll have to work with it. Yeah. So, the kingdom of Aluah within us is really and truly, if you get it technically to crunch it under one heading, it is truly, literally the law written in our hearts. That's what it is. When Mashiach said the kingdom of Aluah is within you, it means you cannot attain unto the kingdom unless the Torah is written in your heart and you're walking in the spirit of the law, not in the letter. For the letter killeth, but the Ruach giveth life. We're going to see more about that. So Jeremiah 31:33. Jeremiah 31:33. This is what really means that the kingdom of Aluah is within you. 31:33. Let me start from verse 30. Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharal and with the house of Yehudah, with the northern kingdom, house of Yasharal, and with the southern kingdom, house of Yehudah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Mitzrayim, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith Yahuwah. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal. This is it now. This is the kingdom of Aluah in us. After those days, saith Yahuwah, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahuwah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahuwah, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. All right. So this is the law written in our hearts. And the law, the law written in our hearts simply means we are walking in the spirit of the law, meaning we are walking in the fruit of the Ruach. And when we're walking in the fruit of the Ruach, then we will do everything that is right. You see, whatever the law says, when you're walking in the fruit of the Ruach, you will walk in obedience to it. Let's just go to the fruit of the Ruach. Galatians 5:22, I think. But the fruit of the Ruach is love. You're walking in love. You're not going to transgress the Torah, because you're going to love Yahuwah with all your heart, minds, and souls, and you're going to love your neighbor even as you love Yeah, the sound. Is the sound okay? Is the sound okay? Let me know, please. Are you hearing me? Okay. Yes. So the fruit of the Ruach, when you're walking in love, then what did Hamashiach say about love? You are not going to transgress the Torah. Yes? You will be joyful. And when you're joyful, you're not going to make anyone, you're not going to transgress against anyone. When you are full of shalom, of peace, when you have peace within, you're not going to sin. You will be long suffering, so when the trials and the troubles and the tests come, you will be gentle and you will have goodness in you. You will be full of emunah. You will be humble. You will have self-control. You see, all of those things combined within you will make sure and ensure that you do not transgress against the Torah. Okay? 19 to 20 again. This, by the way, is what Shaul was speaking about. Yeah? This is what Shaul was speaking about in all his. Law does not justify you. You're not justified by the deeds of the law. And the law, this was what he's talking about. He was talking about you cannot take up rules and just say you are following rules and you're not changed. The inside has to be changed. You have to be transformed. And what transforms us? It is Yahusha HaMashiach. It is the Messiah. It is believing in Messiah. And when we believe in, what do we do? First step to follow him, he says, if any man come after me, let him do what? Deny himself and pick up his stake and follow me. That is where it all begins. So I could be here without that. Yes? What's happening here? So without that, these things, yeah. So without that, no. I haven't even started. All right, check. Thing here. All right, let it remain steady right here as it is, probably from the Zoom. Okay? Yeah. So what Shaul was actually speaking about, it was exactly this. And people take it and take it the wrong way. Thinking Shaul was saying, don't obey the law. The law is done away. What an ignorance. Yes? He was just speaking that you cannot be obeying rules and that justifies you. The same thing that I just said, you obey rules in dress, you have a great dress code. You, as a man, you don't shave your beard. You wear fringes. You wear even the gowns like those people wear. You don't eat certain things. You keep the Shabbat. You keep the feast. You keep this. That's what Shaul was speaking about. But then inside, guess what? You are corrupt. You hate your brother. You fight against your brother. You're selfish. You're envious. You are easily angered. You're full of wrath. You're jealous. You are conniving. You are corrupt. Yeah? You put people against each other. You are gossiping. You are slandering. That's what Shaul was speaking about. When he's saying you're not justified by the works of the law, it's not what you do that justifies you. It is who you are on the inside. Yeah? That's what makes the difference. Let's go to Ezekiel 11, 19 to 20. So Shaul is given a bad rap, even by those who don't understand the Old Testament only people. Many people have left the New Testament saying Shaul is saying no law. He is lawless. He is of the devil. Hey, what did I say I was going to do? Ezekiel 11. Ezekiel 11, 19 to 20. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new ruach within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and I will give them an heart of flesh. This is it again. The law written in our hearts. It is a new ruach within us, and our hearts are no longer stony, which means what? Stiff-necked, stubborn. So he will take the stubbornness out of our hearts and give us a obedient, subjected, compassionate, loving, merciful, forgiving, gentle, kind, good heart. And why is he doing this? Is it for our sakes? It's for his sake, that they may walk in my statutes and keep mine ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Aluah. People, this is what Shaul has always been teaching. The children of Yashua have been described as what? You are a stiff-necked people. You are a stubborn people. You have a stony heart. The Most High was saying that he is going to bring us to the point where he will give us a heart of flesh. And where does that heart of flesh come from? That heart of flesh comes from Yahusha HaMashiach. It is that heart now that many people still reject today. When you say love your enemy, they say no. Don't love no enemy. When you say so something, turn the other cheek. No, I will fight you. I will this you. This is the heart of flesh. When Hamashiach says, if any man asks you for your cloak, you give him, you give him whatever. If he asks you to go 1 mile, you go 2. If he hits you on one cheek, you turn the other one. This is the heart of flesh. The stony heart, the stiff-necked heart, is the one that responds according to how the carnal man responds. You hit me? Hey, I'm going to fight you. Eh? You hit me? Oh, no man is going to hit me and get away with it, man. No man going to do that to me and get away with it. That is the stiff neck. And that stiff neck is so important. Yeah, we have no idea how important it is to the Most High. Exodus 32. Let's start at verse 7. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Mitzrayim, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I commanded them. That's with stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked people have a problem changing. They will go after righteousness, but when they are in the way, any little thing, the slightest thing is going to do what? Get them off track. Stiff-necked people. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed thereunto and said, These be thy Elohim, O Yasharal, which have brought thee up out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. So the Most High was willing to destroy them for what? For their stubbornness, for their stiff-neckedness. So many of us are saying that we're coming to serve Yahuwah, coming to Yahusha, and we are stiff-necked. And I will give them one heart, Ezekiel 11:19, and I will put a new ruach within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them an heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes, and keep my ordinances, and do them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. So the only way we can be his people is if we are walking in his statutes and his ordinances, is if we are obedient. Now the Christians say they are in the New Covenant, the New Testament, and they refuse to walk in his statutes and keep his ordinances. That, I'm telling you, that they are not walking in Aluah is not in you if you are not transformed to walking in obedience to him. So you cannot say you're in the New Testament unless you're walking in his statutes and in his ordinances. And of course, as we said, not in the letter of the law, but walking in it through the spirit of the law, where all of those fruit of the ruach, the fruit of the spirit, is actually keeping you in righteousness with a fleshy heart. Okay? 2 Corinthians 3, verses 3 to 6. 2 Corinthians 3, verses 3 to 6. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle, now we're going into Shaul now to get more understanding of this kingdom within you from Shaul. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Hamashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the ruach of the living Aluah. So what he's saying, it's not the literal writings, but in our hearts, it is written with the ruach, which is called the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKadosh. It's the ruach of the Most High that has written the law in our hearts. But with the ruach of the living Elohim, not in tables of stone, but in fleshy Mashiach to Elohim word, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of Elohim. Not just literally what it is written, but of the ruach in us. Yes, transforming our hearts. For the letter killeth, but the ruach giveth life. The letter killeth because the letter shows us what sin is, and sin leads us to death. But the ruach gives life. Life is in the ruach. Okay? Because our being, I don't know if I made provision for this, but let me just speak. Our being, let me just get this. Yes, our being, we are flesh and ruach together. We have to keep this always in the back of our hearts. Yes? We are made, the flesh in us is made dominant because of the sin of Adam. We all inherited sin, and sin is manifested. Sin is achieved through our desires, through our lusts, through our flesh. Now the Ruach is there for us to rescue us so that we can connect with the Most High. And his Ruach in us, connecting with our Ruach, will help us to overcome this dirty self, this self that brings us to death. So when the kingdom of Aluah is written in our heart, when the kingdom of Aluah is in us, It is when we have that connection to the Most High through Yahusha, through Ruach HaKadosh. And that connection will make us ignore the things of this. Now, in ignoring the things of this, all of this have to be ignored. Because all of this is compulsive. Compulsive. It is demanding. It demands so much, it takes over the entire soul. If you allow this, it will take over your entire soul and lead you to just satisfying its demands. Now, satisfying its demands will mean that the things of the Ruach cannot be satisfied. It will mean that your Ruach, that connection between your Ruach and Ruach HaKadosh, will not. Chapter 1. It's very important to get this thing here under control. This self, man, this self. All right. Wisdom 1:4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. As long as this body is in charge, wisdom will not enter here. And it will not stay if it is unto sin. For Ruach HaKadosh of discipline will flee deceit. This body here, it does not care how it is satisfied. It will do anything in order to be satisfied. It will be deceitful, wicked, angry, miserable, cross, as that DJ would say, angry, miserable. It will be wicked. It will be vindictive. It will be vengeful. It will be hateful. It will be everything to get its way. Now, when it's like that, it says, for Ruach HaKadosh of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding. So if you're lacking in understanding, even lacking in understanding, you see why we have to get this under control. And how do we get understanding? Psalm 111 verse 10, the fear of Aluah is the beginning of wisdom, a good understanding of all they that do his commandments. So if we are not doing his commandments, in which this will not do the commandments when it wants what it wants. When it wants what it wants, that is when it breaks the commandments. Have you ever known that you are to do certain things? And this flesh body here is compelling you on. This is how you sin. This is how you're in the world and you cannot get over sin. You are there and you know that you're supposed to do that, but this is just willing you on not to do it. And when it wills you on not to do it and you don't do it, what happens? You sin. Yes? And remove from thoughts that are without understanding and will not abide when unrighteousness comes in. So when unrighteousness comes in, the Ruach will just excuse herself or himself. Yeah? For wisdom is a loving Ruach, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For Aluah is witness of his reins, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. So the Ruach is here, witnessing everything that we do, every thought that we have, and will deal with us accordingly. So we are saying that this battle is a battle that we do not pay enough attention to. We do not pay enough attention to this battle that takes place within us. We just come and say, okay, all right. Some people wake up that they are Israelites and okay, this and that. I will get you nowhere unless you can overcome that battle within you. Yes? The kingdom of Aluah is within you. You have to perfect here, within here first for you to overcome. You cannot enter the kingdom of the Most High unless you overcome yourself. Unless you overcome yourself. So it's the law written in our hearts, all right. So another thing, we have to be perfected here in the Ruach to partake of the spiritual kingdom. Yeah? We have to be perfected here. Yeah. So that is our dilemma. Boy, these things are giving trouble. That is our, no, I should put that here and get rid of this. Yeah. So that is our dilemma in this earth. We have to be perfected here in the Ruach to partake of the spiritual kingdom. We focus people on the wrong things. We have to focus on perfection of this. This. Many of us as believers, we focus on others. We focus on each other. We focus on the other believers. Oh, he is so unrighteous. Oh, she is so unrighteous. Oh, she's not doing that which is right. Oh, he is this. Oh, he is that. And we ourselves are what? Corrupted on the inside, just the same. When we know that we have to work on ourselves. Instead of focusing on so much on people, we have to work on ourselves. So, Luke 17:22 to 25. Luke 17:22 to 25. So that is why when you listen to us people, we just deal with this righteousness. Because without that, and it might be boring, it might be, you know, I subscribe to some channels. And the things that the people on these channels, they have no focus on this. If I was to look at one of the channels now, let me show you something, and I'm not mocking them, of course. I'm just showing you people, letting us know that we are on the wrong path, most of us. Many of us, we are learning these things. It is to ensure that we are able to edify others. All right, so I'm not going to tell you the channel that I'm looking at, but let me just give you some of the things that the people teach on these channels. All right, here's a heading. IUIC Israelites say Jesus is Yahweh. Where's the other one? Black cult that wants to take little girls. These are people like us who are online, who have their channels. And these people have, let me tell you how much a channel like this, I'm going to tell you how much a channel like this, again, I'm saying I'm not mocking them, that's why I'm not going to actually reveal the channel that is. So, this channel has 35, almost 36,000 followers. Okay? To show you what people desire, what people want to hear. Almost 35,000 followers. All right, new discovery, early depiction of Jesus proves his Hebrew Israelites wrong. Hebrew versus Christian, who are the Israelites today? These are the focus that these people have. Who are the Israelites today? We are the Israelites. Yes? And they're showing you a debate that they have with a Christian scholar. And then Hebrew Israelite crashes Christian panel, destroying everyone. Israelites go live with racist Christian. Some church versus the Israelites. Famous rabbi agrees that we are the Hebrew Israelites. Panel of pastors versus Hebrew Israelites. The truth about black Edomite tribes in Africa. The people, these are what we are These are the topics that people are listening. All of these fine prints, these things, yeah? All of these things people are not focusing on. So Luke 17, 22 to 25. Let's go there. And he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. And they shall say to you, Shalom, see here, or see there, go not after them, nor follow them. For as the lightning that lighteneth out of the one part under heaven, shineth unto the other part under heaven, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. So, Hamashiach had to suffer to be perfected. It's the same thing, unfortunately or fortunately for us. We must first suffer many things and be rejected. Of course, we have to go through this rejection as well. So we must be able to see, with all that's happening in this world, we must be able to see that we are in the days of Noah. Okay, let's go to verse 26 to 33. So he must first suffer, but then he says, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. Now, people, judge for yourself, because this is what is happening in this world. The world is trying to continue in its wild party. Yeah, eating, drinking, marrying, everything. Because when the pandemic came, when the first seal of Revelation 6 was opened, which is, he was given a crown. And that crown, meaning of crown, is a corona. And the corona was given unto him, and he went conquering and to conquer. And he conquered the world through that disease. That disease is what set up this new world order, one world government, that they are in the background. And I'm telling you this, people. You see, after that pandemic, what do you think? You think things have gone back to normal? These people are working fervently to set up their kingdom. Yeah? They are working fervently to go into the next chapter. The next step. They have their plans, and they've had their plans from 17 something. They have been executing this. Everything that happens in this world, they plan it. So we see a new disease coming out. Yes? Hey. I have a time of trouble that is coming on this world, you see? This is a time of peace and safety. A time of trouble is coming on this world. These people are engineering it because they have their own aim. That aim, one world government, one person in charge. This is the anti-Messiah beast system that is going to be unveiled, that is going to be released after this. Okay? Don't think that it's peace and safety and everything normal, and everybody thinking, oh, we have to do this, and I have to send my child to school, and I have to do this. Man, you know what? The kingdom of Aluah is within you. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. And why do you have to be prepared? The Most High is going to make some of us escape this thing. He's going to make some of us escape whatever it is planned. Let me go to the book of where is it? In the book of Revelation. Come on, man, let's go. No. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10:13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Elohim is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way of escape, that he may be able to bear it. So, Revelation 3:10, we were speaking about the Most High making provision for us to escape it. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. So you see, people, why we have to be in perfect patience. This week we have been doing this on Jaw Radio. We did a 3 teaching progression live at 5. People, you need to check that out. Live at 5. We are live 5 South Africa time. I think that is about 11 a.m. Eastern time, where we have 2-hour radio program, whatever comes to mind, whatever comes, that is done. And we did a 3-day teaching on patience. And we were emphasizing patience and showing that patience is the essential thing. And here we go. You see the first thing that he said for you to escape this thing? The word of my patience. And patience begins, of course, people, with denying self. Because it is the dirty, stinking self that is going to be impatient, that is going to want its satisfaction right away. When it gets flustered, when it gets miserable, when it starts facing things that it cannot manage, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to get flustered, it's going to get miserable and impatient. And it's going to spur you and cause you to do things that are going to get you in trouble. Things that might look nice, because what it's going to do, what it's going to do is going to make you feel that you're making the right decision. Yes, man. It is right. I'm going to do this. Did you consult Yahuwah Sabaoth? Did you? And you make the wrong decision. Put yourself in trouble and you don't know it until time. So any decision made with impatience is wrong. Any decision. You see, the Most High is going to put us through problems that will even mimic. I'm telling you this, speaking from experience. The Most High will put you through problems that will mimic, what should I say, trouble that is coming on the earth. How do you deal with it? Do you get flustered? Is that spiritual man, oh, you were so religious and you were so walking so perfectly, and then the trouble came upon you, and what happened to you? Do you get flustered and forget everything about this perfect man? Just be just like any other sinner, making decisions like a sinner. If you do that, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep you from the hour of temptation. So people, while we are going through this life, we are going to be tested to see if we are going to keep the word of his patience. Are we going to be righteous, walking in righteousness, no matter what comes upon us? This is where the 2 songs, my 2 favorite songs, coming from 2 verses, come in. They that wait upon Yahuwah shall renew their strength. This is it right here. Keeping the word of his patience. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Yeah? Because We have kept the word of the patience. And they added this to the song, teach me how to wait. So right now, our task at this point in time in our lives is to learn how to wait. That's the only way we will escape the hour of temptation. This is what is coming up. That is what you call great tribulation. It is patience. So the thing is, patience is what gets you through, right? If you are tried and found to be impatient, then you're going to have to go through the trouble in order to either learn patience or to be consumed. Your choice, depending on how you choose. Because I put before you today life and death, good and evil. Choose life so that you and your seed might live. So you have the choice to choose. So if you are put through a simulation whereby you go through hard trouble, that is why I'm telling you people, I keep telling you as believers, don't be afraid of trouble. It is what keeps this in check. It keeps the self in check. And it is what perfects us. And it is what makes... It is like when you're going to the university. Some university, what they have different credits that you have to pass. So you might be going to university, you get your credits, and then you leave, you sit out a year, you go back, you get the other credits. Okay? When you're put through trials, it's like that. Do you have enough credits to go through? Do you have enough credits? So that when the true temptation comes, the Most High says, you have gone through all of this already. You have passed through this level. I don't have to put you through that again. Come. And puts you under his arms. Patience, people. Patience. Let me go on. I need to speed up because I so much to say. All right, so we're in the days of Noah. Let's go back to that. All right. 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. So he's saying that this is the end times. We are eating, we are drinking, we are marrying, everything. And we are appealing, we are showing people, these are the end times, we're in the last days, prepare yourselves. Was it last week or the week before we did 2nd Esdras, where it showed that this will mix with that and that will mix with that in the end times, so that the people of the earth will not know that they're in the time of the end. Now you know that you're in the time of the end, people. What do you think it is? What do we think this time of the end is? This time of the end is the Most High delivering his people and preparing the world for his Mashiach to come back and to rule the world in righteousness. Because the Most High cannot tolerate unrighteousness. This world he has given into the hand of the wicked. He's sending back his son to renew it. We are in those days right before the renewal. We were living in a world in captivity, us the children of Yasharal, under the influence of the heathen. The heathen have made the life so attractive to the flesh, that we are so connected to it. But the Most High is telling us now is the time of the end. It is my life or no life. You now have to prepare yourself to live my life. And my life is a man of righteousness. It's the new covenant man. A man whose inward parts is circumcised. Fleshy hearts that can obey him. As it is, as we are coming out of this Babylonian system, coming out of this system that the wicked oppressors gave us, we cannot be perfected before the Most High. We cannot make it to his kingdom. We are not ready. So what I'm saying here, people, ready yourselves. Someone messaged me the other day and he was, rebuking me, saying that like I'm telling people to flee and it is too early to flee. And he said, You are giving people things that pertain to you. You are teaching people things that pertain to you. In other words, these things that you're preaching, they pertain to you, pertain to you. I don't know when sins. Who am I? I'm a dirty boy who has lived a corrupt life just like anybody else, or even more corrupt than many people. A dirty boy who is now given salvation, who loves my people so much that whatever I get, whatever the Most High shows me, I want to show everyone. I'm trying to find. I came upon this verse. I came upon this verse and that Shaul said, and I found it very, very significant. I don't remember, but I'll try to say it. Shaul was telling the people that whatever you see in me, that do. Whatever we have taught you, that do. Whatever you see in me, that do. We have to live as examples. So this people is not for me. It is for every single human being. I'm no different than anyone else. Yes? Even today, I was praying. And that was a part of my prayer. I was there reminiscing on my life coming through. And I was speaking out in the early part of my life. How you would think that you were significant when you started getting the word and you're getting understanding that people don't get. You start feeling significant and you start feeling, like you're great, special. But then the Most High makes you go through some things to humble you down. And I was saying today that, who am I? It was because of the mercies of the Most High why I do this. Because of all the sins and all the corruption, I've corrupted so many people and all the garbage that I did in my life. I don't deserve anything but death. Yes? But through his manifold mercies, he has afforded me. Who am I to act as if I'm exalted and greater or more than anyone else? How can this be for me and that be for anyone else? How can I see something good and say, hey, this is for me? I'll hold on to that. Oh, this righteousness is for everyone. Yes? Look what it says. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And what happened? And the flood came and destroyed them all. So I am here getting an understanding of all this. The flood is coming, and I'm going to keep this to myself. What do you think the Most High will do to me? The Most High is going to hold me guilty. I have to speak the word. In season, out of season, rebuke, reprove with all long suffering. Yeah? Why? Because the time will come when they will not hear sound doctrine, which is now. So we have to speak it. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from Shamayim and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. This is the time. We are preparing. We are in the last days. The anti-Mashiach will soon take charge of this world in our lifetime. Within the next few months to years, the anti-Mashiach expect that. Okay? Anyway, let's go back. So how do we ensure that we attain unto the kingdom? We will have to win the battle that is taking place within us. We said that before. Yeah? We have to ensure that we attain unto the kingdom, we must win the battle that is taking place within us. People, this is it. This is what is important. It is this battle that is taking place within us that is most important than anything else in this world. It's we who are the enemy. Too often, what do? We look on our brothers and sisters as the enemy. Or we look out there at the children of Edom as the enemy. It is us who are our own enemies. We have to overcome this, because this is what's going to lead you to sin. Yes? And when it leads you to sin, what do we think is going to happen? No kingdom for us. No kingdom for us. Okay? So, Galatians 5:13-26. I don't think we will do all of it because we know this by heart. Galatians 5:13-26. For brethren, we have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. You see that? This is the problem. You have been called unto liberty, but don't let this body here come back and take charge. And notice how you can avoid that? By love, serve one another. Serve one another. We have to be servants to each other. This is what I have to be a servant. I have to serve. Yeah. By love, serve one another. Know that word, serve, it comes from the word dulu, which comes from doulos, which means a slave. Dulu, whatever it means, it says, means to be a slave. To literally, to be a slave to. Literally or figuratively, involuntarily or voluntarily. To be in bondage, to serve. To be in bondage to one another, to be slaves to one another. This is how we ensure. And guess what? You see this self here. You see this verse. This self here strives at all times to be the boss, to be the chief, to be in charge, to be the man or the woman, to be the one that gets served, that gets satisfied, to get... By love, serve one another. That is how you get over this. So this is always craving the satisfaction of comforts. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Yeah? What Shaul was saying is that if you love your neighbor as yourself, and of course he did not speak about loving Yahuwah with all your heart, yeah? That also is a part of it. If you love your neighbor as yourself, you will fulfill the law. Because everything in the law, you will do it. When it comes upon certain things, then you will not be guilty of it. Because someone, for example, hurts you, you start thinking, boy, if I had hurt someone, I would really want that person to forgive me. So you know what? I'm going to forgive that person. Guess what? You do not turn and take vengeance on that person. Very simple. That's how love fulfills the law. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. So you cannot be devouring, and this happens when believers come together. Biting, devouring one another. So easy to do. This is when people are carnal. This is when the natural man is in charge. People bite and devour one another. This I say then, walk in the Ruach, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. This is it. For the flesh lusteth against the Ruach, and the Ruach against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. This is the battle that is taking place within us. This is the battle that we're talking about right here. This battle that takes place within us, this is the one that we have to overcome. The kingdom of Aluah is within you. The battle is taking place within you. It is not that other believer that is your enemy. It's not that believer. Yes, he's your enemy, yes. But it's not that believer that you have to overcome. Because if you have someone, for example, who is doing you something and you forgive them, no matter what they do, you forgive them, then you have overcome. But if you are there battling, biting, devouring, fighting with that person, then you're going to be consumed by sin. So you yourself have to be transformed within so that you reach to that place that when people are doing things contrary to you, hateful to you, you use wisdom and know how to deal with them. Yes? So you do not sin. That is walking in the Ruach. So the fruit of the Ruach will be out there, out front, leading you, guiding you, not the carnal man. For the flesh lusteth against the Ruach, and the Ruach against the flesh. Both of them are lusting against each other. Both of them are fighting. Both of them are saying, Yeah? Let's get the meaning of this word, lusteth. Lusteth, to set the heart upon, that is long for, rightfully or otherwise. Covet, desire, would fain, lust after. So they covet each other. So when you're walking spiritually, the fleshy man is there waiting, getting miserable, wanting its chance, its opportunity to get his own way. That little child, miserable child, spoiled child. Yeah? Then when you're walking in the flesh, if you are a believer, the Ruach is going to bring you to guilt and let you know, hey, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. Both of them are contrary to the other. So that you cannot do the things that you would. So you cannot walk in righteousness. This is our dilemma. But if ye be led of the Ruach, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. So when you are led of the Ruach, you are not under the law. That means the law is not what actually defines your decisions. It is the fruits of the Ruach that will be guiding your decisions. Okay? So, when the fruit of the Ruach is guiding our decisions, as we said before, we will be walking in righteousness. Now, the works of the flesh are manifest, means they are evident, they are plain to see. Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emanations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. After which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom. So these things are evident, they are plain to see, and they let us know when we have things to do. But the fruit of the Ruach is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So there is no law that tells you that you should not love. No law that tells you must not have joy, you must not have shalom. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. This is it. This is our theme verse, Matthew 16:24. If any man come after me, let him deny himself. If you belong to Hamashiach, you have to have killed the flesh with the affections and lusts. People, we have to overcome this self. We have to, we must. Let me look in the chat here and see what's going on. Okay. Cutting in and out. I don't know why this is happening here, but let me get this off. I don't know. All right. So, let me continue. Where was I again? All right. So the real battle, of course, is sin dwelling in us, leading us to destruction. So all we can go on and concentrate on what this person is doing to us, or what that person is saying, or what that. The real battle is in you. The kingdom of Aluah is within you. It's within your reach. It has to be inside of you. It is you doing things inside of you. Hey. Romans 7:7-17. All right, I know we've heard this many times, but people to get, just bear in mind, just keep it in stride. Romans 7, I've used this so many times. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Elohim forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law, for I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. We're speaking about the sinful person. We're speaking about the person that needs to be denied. Now, Matthew 16, let me get back to Matthew 16:24. You know that I think I had made provision for it. I had made provision for it, but Matthew 16. I don't think I spoke about this during the radio for the week, but I don't think I've made provision for this here. Now, this we want to understand, get to understand. Denying self. Why it's absolutely... Let me tell you something. If you are sitting there and you're watching this, no matter how high you think you have reached, how much righteousness, if you have not denied yourself, if you don't know what it means to deny yourself, you're wasting your time. And I'm not saying it because I can say it or it is not coming from me. It is coming from Hamashiach himself. He told us it's a waste of time. Now, if we are carnal, we are going to see a situation here where Kepha, Peter, was not at that place where he was supposed to be. He was not converted. And because he was not converted, he was carnal. And because he was carnal, he cannot see spiritual things. Because what we want to tell you, the kingdom of Aluah is within you. It is a spiritual kingdom. And if it is a spiritual kingdom, boy, I have so many places to go. I have so many places to go. Because it is a spiritual kingdom, then it can only be discerned spiritually. So Peter wasn't at that spiritual place when he could discern spiritual things. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 2. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 7. We have to get this foundation. This was not, this was where Kepha or Peter was not, because he was not yet given the Ruach HaKadosh. So he was not here. But let's see what can happen when we are here. And we're going to go back to Kepha and show you what happened when he is not there. To show you that unless we are here, then we are nowhere. Let me explain it. Let me go and illustrate it with the scriptures and it will explain itself. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of Elohim in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which Aluah ordained before the world unto our splendor, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the master of splendor. So this spiritual wisdom, the kings of the world did not know it. If they had known it and understood it, then they would not have crucified Yahusha HaMashiach so that we can have the atonement and we can have access to eternal life. So that is why spiritual things are not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. They are not plain to see. They are hidden. In verse 7, it says, even the hidden wisdom. So the Most High ordained it, but he gave it to us in a mystery. He not only gave it to us in a mystery, we speak it in a mystery. Hey. So only spiritual things, people can understand these spiritual things. They are given to us in a mystery. We speak them in a mystery. And we said this before. I said this before we did a teaching on this. Why you are not going to be able to hear us speak everything ABC. It's spiritually discerned. And that is why someone came to me yesterday, I'm just reminding, asking me to speak with someone to explain something. And I told them that person would have to have the desire. Because that person spoke to that person in a conversation. That person would have to have a desire, and then I'll spend any time to try to give that person the understanding. Yes? Everything is not for everyone. But as it is written, verse 9, eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Elohim hath prepared for them that love him. For them that love him. That's why I said, so if that person does not love Aluah, it's going to be a waste of time to try to explain things to them. In Matthew 13, he said, I speak to them in miracles because seeing they see not, neither do they hear. So if they don't have the desire, they're not going to hear, they're not going to understand, so you'll be wasting your time. Cast not your pearls unto swines. Spiritual things are different from carnal things. That is why we did a video. We did a video about put down the pen and paper. And in that video, it's on Just the Word Shorts. You can go to justthewordshorts.com, website in progress, so you can see those short videos. So, put down the pen and paper. Spiritual things are for spiritual people. Because when you're in school, you use pen and paper. When it comes to spiritual things, you use this, your ears, your eyes, your heart. These are the things that now record on the fleshy tablets of your heart. Not to the letter, writing. No, but in the fleshy tablets of your heart. The law written in your heart. Okay? But Aluah hath revealed them unto us by his Ruach. For the Ruach searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of Aluah. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the Ruach of man which is in him? Even so, the things of Aluah knoweth no man but the Ruach of Aluah. So for us to get to know the spiritual things, the Ruach of Yahuwah has to connect with our Ruach. Because our Ruach knows the things that pertain to us. Yeah? So we cannot know the things that pertain unto Aluah except Aluah's Ruach connects with me. So that is why I know believers who come, they don't receive the Ruach. They want to come and they want to understand. They want to know everything. They don't even have the time. Or even it says, repent and be baptized, every one of you. Don't even have the time to repent. Don't even have the time to be baptized. And then you want to know everything. You can't. Because there has to be that connection with the Ruach of the Most High. So if you are sinful, if this is leading you, the Ruach of Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and will not stay when unrighteousness comes in. The Ruach will not be there, it will go. Therefore, you will not have that connection with the Most High. You will not be able to understand the spiritual things. Hey, and I tell you people, all of you, you need to check out that video that we did on put down the pen and paper. It will greatly enhance you spiritually because I know a lot of you are listening now, you are writing. Foolishness. Good for the world, but not for spiritual things. Now we have received not the Ruach of the world, but the Ruach which is of Aluah, that we might know the things that are freely given unto us of Aluah. Rich things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which Ruach HaKadosh teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. This is where Kepha was lacking. The Ruach HaKadosh was not yet in him. So he could not have that connection to understand the spiritual things. We're going to show you. Because verse 14 says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Ruach of Aluah. So he could not see. And because he could not see, what was he? He was blinded. Who blinded him? Belial, Hasatan blinded him. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Ruach of Aluah. So if you can't receive the things of the Ruach of Aluah, what Ruach will you receive of? The Ruach of the devil. For they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So if I don't have that connection with the Most High, and the Most High comes with things that we need that connection to decipher it, to discern it. How am I going to understand it? And this has happened to me many a time in the ministry, in ministering. I see things happen with people. And sometimes I have to just look. Sometimes I'm there trying to explain. And when I realize it, these people or this person is not where they should be in connecting with the Ruach. They cannot understand. No matter how I explain, they will not be able to understand. And it really is very, very sad how many of us are at this place. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Ruach of Aluah, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. You see it? When you are spiritual, you are able to judge everything. But no man is able to judge you. Why? Because you are spiritual, being led and directed by Ruach HaKadosh, who will do what? Guide you into all truth. So you're being guided into all truth because you have denied yourself. Yes? And you have been born again, where the wind bloweth where it listeth, and you know not from whence it cometh. So the wind is able to take you anywhere you want to go. So when you are spiritual, the Ruach is able to take you and guide you wherever the Ruach wants you to go, wherever Yahuwah wants you to go. So who can judge you? No man. Because Yahuwah is using you as his servant. He's using you. And when he uses you sometimes, hey. Whoa, I can tell from experience when he uses you sometimes. People will look at you and say, oh, you are so this and you are so that. And it's the Most High. It's so strange. It's a very strange thing. That is the reason why. Which one of the prophets in the scripture that we so laud today, that we so exalt today, which one of them were not hated by the people? The righteous ones among the people loved them, but depending on where Yasharal was, they were hated. If Yasharal was heavy in unrighteousness, they will be despised and killed. Yes? When the Most High is using you, people are going to misjudge you. I'm going to tell you the truth. But then, you know that things are spiritually discerned, so you have to leave it and wait until these people are able to spiritually discern things before they can understand. For who hath known the mind of the Master, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach. Who could know the mind of Yahuwah, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach. So in this case, we will have the mind of Yahusha when we are spiritual, when the Ruach is able to take us and guide us and use us in all its way. So Kepha was not at this place. And let's see what happened to Kepha when he was not at this place. Let's go to Mark 16:21. From that time forth began Yahusha to show unto his disciples spiritual things now, right? How that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and be raised again the third day. This is the spiritual thing. Raised again the third day. But in order, and this likewise, people, when we are going through to receive anything good, we have to go through the bad. You see how much bad he has to go through? Suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed before he receives the good, which is to be raised the third day. Kepha didn't understand the spiritual implication of that, and what did he do? Verse 22. Then Kepha took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, master, this shall not be unto thee. So Kepha could only see the carnal thing, that is the death, that is the suffering. Yeah? So he's saying, no, that can't happen to you. He is not looking at the spiritual implication. So this has to do with us, people. If we are not at the place where we can deal with spiritual things, what do we think is going to happen to us? We are not going to be unable to understand spiritual things. The kingdom of Aluah, it will be of this world, not the kingdom that is within us. All right? So, what did Hamashiach say? Verse 23, But he turned and said unto Kepha, Get thee behind me, Satan. Wow. Is he calling Peter Satan? Get thee behind me, Satan. Now, you see, if you're not spiritual, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Satan has this world, and he can use this world at his own will. Each and every one of us, if we are not at that place, he can use us anytime. Hamashiach was speaking to the spirit that was leading Peter. That is the spirit of Belial. Because Kepha cannot see spiritual things, Satan took the opportunity to use Kepha to speak to Hamashiach, to get Hamashiach to be weak, so that he can start thinking, it doesn't have to be that way. I don't have to do that. So that is why Hamashiach spoke to him so sternly. Because, let me show you something. Let's go to Deuteronomy 20, and I think it's about verse 8. Let's go to Deuteronomy 20 and show you what was at play here, what Satan was trying to do here. Deuteronomy 20, verse 8. This is speaking about when the children of Yasharal are going to war. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. You see that? That was the Torah that was at operation in Hamashiach's mind. Now when Kepha is saying, Oh, far be from you, you shall not suffer that way. And Hamashiach starts to get weak spiritually. And Hamashiach now starts to go off and starts thinking twice. So he had to rebuke Kepha. Happens with believers as well. You want to be with believers? You just want something fearful and faint, something to make them fearful and faint-hearted. Everybody. Amen. Let's go. Back to Kepha now. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan, thou art an offense unto me. For thou savorest not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of men. Wanted to save his life. The thing today, believers, now is the time to get uncomfortable. You might not understand when I'm speaking, One day you'll understand, and I only hope it will not be too late. Those of you making provisions in this world, one day you'll understand the foolishness that we are speaking here. Only then you will understand. Verse 24, as a result of that conversation now, then said Yahusha unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me. Deny himself, take up his stake and follow him. So what Hamashiach was actually saying, Kepha, what you should be saying is, yes, Master, we will be there with you. We're not going to be left behind. We will suffer with you. We will go with you. We will be behind you. That is denying self, pick up the stake, being willing to partake of his suffering and following him. This is the whole foundation of our salvation, people. If we can't do this, Matthew 16:24, we are wasting our time. Notice he says, if any man will come after me. If, conditional. We have to do this. Because only when we do this can we even attain or even see anything to do with spiritual things. We cannot connect spiritually. The kingdom of Aluah cannot be within us unless we have denied this self. This self here has to be denied because it is a spoilt brat wanting everything that is so. I want that. I want this. I don't want this. I don't like this. I don't want this. I don't want. I. My. Me. This is the self. So in order to get that out of the way, you have to deny it. You have to deny all its concern, everything the mice that he wants, what you need, what you want, what makes you comfortable, deny everything, leave it alone. No, you're not going to get this. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get what you want. When we do so, people, that is now when the Ruach is able to come in us, and when the Ruach is able to connect with the Father, and when the Ruach is able to take us and guide us wherever the Ruach wants us to go. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So Kepha should have volunteered to go with him, to be with him, if we had denied ourselves. Likewise, when we come into the Emunah, we come into trouble, and we are willing to bear trouble. We are willing to live a life of trouble. That's it. That's the difference, people. This is the difference. Denying self makes. When you have denied yourself, you have a willingness to suffer. This is how you know if you have denied yourself. There are several ways to know, but here's a test. Are you willing to suffer? Are you willing to go through trials? Are you willing to go through temptations? Are you willing to be afflicted? Are you willing to go through these things and rejoice? Are you willing to go through these things and you are suffering, and then you just shake your mind and says, you know what? Thank you, Father, for this. Thank you. Because this, if I go through this, then I will be better, only better after it. I don't know where you're taking me, but I will wait. I will wait. Teach me how to wait. You see, when you reach to those places, that is when now you can start to be a believer. But if when problems come and trials come, then you start pointing finger, you did it, you caused it, it was because of you. You see, the person has to be able to look within self. You see, with everything that happens to me, I cannot be looking at another person and saying, and being, how should I say, angry at the person for what they did. I have to know, how did I come through this? Did I respond to it and come out sinful? Or was Hamashiach in me when I responded? That is what is important. Eh? That is what is actually important. How do you come out of it? Matthew 16. So, we're talking about this battle that is within us. We didn't even go to Romans 7. And I would dare say, what time is it? I would dare say, go to Romans 7. Seeing child. Seeing child, you're a Jamaican. He spoke in parables because them not ready. I like that. Yeah. So, go to Romans 7. I would say you go to Romans 7 on your own, and you will see the sinful nature at work, how it controls us, and then you know the truth that we're talking about, that you have to come out. Now, the spirit that is in us, Belial, how it operated in Kepha and how it operates in us, is vital that we understand. You see, if we are not spiritually connected, if we have not denied this self, then Satan has all charge over us. Wherever we go, we could be speaking the greatest word of truth. We could think that we are so righteous. Whenever Satan is ready, he's going to use you. How is he going to use you? Whenever you are brought to that place where you have not denied yourself and self steps in, Satan is going to use you. Let me see if I can get this. I don't know why this audio thing is tripping, but it will not stay steady. Anyway, so when you are at that point, yes, where you're okay with everything, everything's go nice and you get challenges and you deal with it. But then, you come to a point where there's a sticking point, something that you have not gotten over. There is something that gets you angry. And some people will say, I'm okay. But if you want to get me angry, just say this or just do this. So that thing is said or is done. You get angry. Everything comes to an end. All that niceness, that righteousness that is in you comes to an end. Everything comes to a crashing end. Because in your anger, that is where Satan works. We're going to look at that as well. In your anger, that is where Satan works. Whoa. All right. So I see this has to be split into two. This teaching has to be split in two. There's too much that has to come out of it. So in the testament of the 12 patriarchs, it tells us how Belial works, how he works. If we have not denied ourselves, we are in trouble. Testament of the 12 patriarchs. And we are at, let me find where we should go. Imagine I'm there. The testament of Dan. Chapter 1, verses 4 to 51. Testament of Dan. Chapter 1. Let me get it here. Testament of Dan. Where is Dan again? Dan came what? Yehuda. Dan came after Zebulun, did he? Yes. So Dan, chapter 1, verses 4 to 5, 1:4 to 5:1. Now this is Dan speaking. My children, let me make sure this is online. Yeah. Okay. No, I should have done it this way. And then I could do this. All right, sorry about this. All right, that should do it. All right. Testament of Dan. My children, I confess to you today that in my heart I rejoiced over the death of Joseph, a man who was true and good. So Dan was confessing. Let me just turn on this light. So Dan was confessing his error. He was confessing his wickedness in that he rejoiced over the death of his brother. I was glad about the sale of Joseph or Yosef because Father loved him more than the rest of us. You see, when you have not denied self, here we go. Because his father loved Joseph more than the others, this was Satan's entry into Dan. And he's going to blind him. And he blinded him so much, he wanted to kill him like nothing. You see, when you make provision for self, you start grumbling in this case, oh, the father loves him more than us. If I get rid of him, then my father's love will rest on me. Or something like that. Deny self. Self is the problem. Self can grow wicked. For the ruach of jealousy and pretentiousness kept saying to me, you too are his sons. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, the ruach of jealousy, spirits, jealous spirits, came and started speaking to him. In the Shepherd of Hermas, this is called the angel of iniquity. So when we make provision for self, self is going to be there speaking to us, telling us how to make provision for itself. And it's going to be speaking evil things, and we are not going to care. When you have not denied yourself, when evil is being spoken, you are not going to care. And one of the Ruachoth, or the spirits of Belial, Satan, was at work within me. What did we say earlier? The kingdom of Aluah is within us. So the Ruach of Belial will intrude in the kingdom that is within you and will tell you things that will lead you to your destruction, will lead you to unrighteousness, will lead you to sin and transgression. And one of the Ruachoth of Belial, Satan, was at work within me, saying, take this sword and with it kill Joseph. Once he is dead, your father will love you. People, this is why we have to deny self. This is an extreme version of it, but in our day-to-day goings and comings, there is going to be milder versions of this. Yes? Milder versions where it's going to come and tell us things that we want to hear so that we transgress. This is the ruach of anger that persuaded me, that as a leopard sucks the blood of a kid, so I should suck the blood of Joseph. So if he had denied himself, he would say, well, I don't care. I have life, I have health. He's my brother and I love him. Whatever. But the Elohim of Jacob, our father, did not allow him to fall into my hands so that I might find him alone. Nor did he permit me to accomplish his Torahless act, lest 2 tribes be lost from Yasharal. And now, my children, I am dying. And I say to you in truth that if you do not guard yourselves against the ruachoth of falsehood and anger, there we go with anger. Anger is one of the main ways that Satan uses us. And that is why I tell people with whom I fellowship, people here with me, I tell them, resolve within yourself never ever to get angry again. Make a covenant with yourself that I will not get angry. And that anger, of course, anger is, there are different levels of anger. You might be angry, but you are not inflamed. And that anger would be spiritual anger for me. But for me, I have to resolve that no carnal things can make me angry. That's why Hamashiach said, turn the other cheek. If someone hits you, turn the other cheek. That is no carnal anger there. I say to you in truth that if you do not guard yourselves against the ruach of falsehood or lies and anger and love truth and forbearance, you will perish. You love truth and you love forbearance. Forbearance is when someone has done you something and you are just willing to. There is blindness in anger, my children, and there is no angry person who can perceive the face of truth. Whoa! I need to put some in this machine here, so that when I say something like this, it just goes, you get some clap, some apply, or something to show that this is important to listen to. Please, sir, can you play that again? Something like that. Let me read it again. There is blindness in anger, my children. So as long as you get angry, you are likely to get blinded. And when you are blinded, what happens to you? Satan just steps in and says, yes, it's my time. And you will be brought to destruction. Now, when you have denied yourself, then when something comes to make you angry, you don't even think you're worthy enough to be angry. You love your brothers and sisters so much that you cannot even feel any bitterness against them. You are sorry for them for where they are. They have done this, but they are in a wrong place. They are not where, and so you feel sad for them. Eh? There is blindness in anger, my children, and there is no angry person who can perceive the face of truth. No angry person. So when the truth comes, that angry person cannot see it. They will be blinded. They cannot perceive the face of truth. And I'm going to show you now how the self is dangerous. Well, if you have not denied it, you cannot see the kingdom. Because today it will work nice and mild and it will be okay. But if it's not controlled, if it is not denied, it's going to have its time and it's going to destroy. For even if one is his father or mother, he treats them as enemies. Yeah? Your brothers and sisters, you treat them as enemies. Your mother, father, sister, brother, uncle. Eh? How many of you have faced hatred from family members? You can attest to this. Make sure that you, though, are not one of these. Make sure that no matter what your family members do, you never, ever, ever are bitter or angry against them. Because it does you no good. Forgive. And if you even cannot have a rosy connection, you know that there is no malice. If they speak with you or something to speak, you just speak to them casually without no bitterness, no anger. But of course, there are family members, there are people who are better loved from a distance. Because as soon as you bring them close, problems. Deep, deep problems. Because guess what? The same thing that we're speaking here is the same spirit at operation in them. Belial takes hold of them, and you now are trying to interact with them, and Belial uses them to get to you. So you have to use wisdom in this. It's not everyone you jump into. For even if one is his father or mother, he treats them as enemies. If it is a brother, he does not He does not recognize him. If it is a prophet of Yahuwah, he misunderstands. Woo! Hey, when the Most High sends people, if something is done and you get angry with that person, you're not going to be able to understand that person. I've seen this so many times. And it doesn't even make sense. That person explains anything to the one who doesn't understand. They will not understand. Why? Spiritual things are for spiritual people. They are spiritually discerned. The Most High does not use his prophets to please the people out there. Because the world is given into the hand of the wicked, the prophets are a pain in the neck to the people. So the prophets will be like a bother to the people. So if it is our own brother, he doesn't even recognize him as a brother. If it is a prophet of Yahuwah, he misunderstands. If it is a just man, he is unaware of him. You can't even see the righteousness in someone. If a friend, he ignores him. For the ruach of anger ensnares him in the nets. Which angry person is this here for today? Which angry person, which angry bird is this for? Please, people, listen carefully. For the ruach of anger ensnares him in the nets of deceit. There we go. When we get angry, the ruach of anger, we don't think we get anger, but there's a spirit, there's a ruach. The ruach of anger ensnares us in a net of deceit. What is that deceit? That deceit is when we get angry, we start hearing the voices, the angel of unright of wickedness that is telling us things to satisfy our anger. Yes. Man, somebody like that needs to die, man. He needs to die. That person doesn't have a right to live. Doing that to you, man, you gotta get rid of that person. Or don't ever speak to that person again. That will satisfy you and that will hurt him or her. And that is just, that is right. Ensnares you in nets of deceit. Blinds his eyes literally. Of course, the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs can be downloaded from our website, justaword.org. The ruach of anger ensnares him in the net of deceit, blinds his eyes literally, darkens his understanding by means of a lie. Darkens his understanding by means of a lie. So our understanding is darkened no longer, and I've seen this so many times. You have people who are believers who are of so much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Get them angry. You would think that this was a fool right before you, and not that same person who exhibited that wisdom. For the ruach of anger ensnares him in the net of deceit, blinds his eyes literally, darkens his understanding by means of a lie, and provides him with his own peculiar perspective. Its own peculiar perspective. So they will tell you a lie. Verse 5, by what means does it ensnare the vision? By what means does it ensnare the vision? By hatred in the heart. It gives him a peculiar disposition to envy his brother. So if you have denied yourself, where will this hatred be? There will be no hatred. There will be what? Forgiveness. There will be mercy. There will be compassion. There will be long suffering. There will be love. There will be gentleness. There will be kindness. But if you have not denied yourself, and don't get it twisted, each one of us can live a certain level of righteousness according to a certain level of tolerance that we will have. So for a particular situation, we will come out like knights in shining armor. We'll come out good. And we'll feel good within ourselves, say, yes, I came through that. But push to a level, a true level, that goes to the core of the self. Hey, that is when we realize we have not denied ourselves. Hey, 3 verse 1. Anger is evil, my children, for it becomes the motivation force of the soul itself. So, people, all of us, we have the propensity to get angry. We are speaking about the kingdom of Aluah within us. The kingdom of Aluah cannot be within us if we are angry birds, if we have angry tempers, if anger gets the better of us, if we have not denied ourselves. Resolve in yourself, people, selves, never to get angry again. So when anger comes up, you remember that covenant that you made that you will not get angry again. You have to, for your soul's sake. Hey. And I'm telling you that our brothers, most of our brothers, are not teaching these things. The kingdom of Aluah is within you, not out there on the streets. Anger is evil, my children, for it becomes the motivation force of the soul itself. So the soul, this dirty, stinking thing here, this flesh thing here, that is so honorable in that it is the temple of the Most High, but to me, it is dirty and stink. I have to look on it like that, so as to make sure that it is not exalted, so that it does not become the primary reason for my living. Yes? Anger becomes the motivation force of this. So, becoming the motivation force, that means that all your tasks, your desires, your deeds are centered on satisfying that anger. That force has strange effects on the body of the angry man. It dominates his soul, so it takes us over. We are no longer ourselves. So having denied ourselves, Ruach HaKadosh takes us over. Having not denied ourselves, when we get angry, what happens? Belial takes over. Simple. That force has strange effects on the body of the angry man. It dominates his soul and provides the body with a peculiar power so that it can accomplish every lawless act, every Torah-less act. So right now, when anger takes place and seizes us, then we are now open, ready to do every sinful thing that you can think about. But when we deny ourselves, we open ourselves for the Ruach of Yahuwah to come in, and we can do every single righteous act that you think possible. Matthew 16:24. If any man come after me, let him deny himself, pick up his stake, and follow me. The kingdom of Aluah is within us. But we have to deny self for that kingdom to be within us. When the soul acts, it justifies whatever is done since it lacks discernment. Why I'm telling you, this is a beautiful, beautiful discourse here from Dan. When the soul acts, it justifies whatever it's done since it lacks discernment. So we are blinded when we are angered and envy and all of those sinful things. We are blinded, not being able to see. We are fooled by lies that are given to us by Belial, telling us what we want to hear. Then we justify whatever we do because we lack discernment. We cannot see, we cannot understand because we are blinded. Wow. But when you have denied yourself, what did Shaul say? We have the what? The Ruach of HaMashiach. When we deny ourselves, that is the Ruach HaMashiach, the spirit of the Messiah in us, guiding us into what? All truth. When you have not denied yourself, you are led into all lies, deceits. And you're going to feel good within yourself. Yes, I did it. I did the right thing. I shouldn't have done it. Not knowing that you have been blinded. Anger, people. Anger, anger, anger. That thing I'm telling you about, anger. I have seen it so many times. Especially when you gather with people. Hey, when you're with family. Hey. So then, Testament of Dan, chapter 3, verse 4. This is on page 53 of the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs that you can download from our website, justtheword.org/downloads. When the soul acts, it justifies whatever is done since it lacks discernment. So then, whoever is angry, if he is a powerful person, has triple strength by means of his anger. First, through the power and support of his subordinates. Second, through his wealth, by which he can win by persuasive acts and triumph in injustice. Third, he has the natural force of his own body, and through it he accomplishes evil. So you become even stronger physically when you get angry. But if the angry one is a weak person, his strength is twice that of nature. For anger always supports such a person in their transgression. So why are we built this way? We are built this way because of the sin of Adam. We are built for sin. You notice it? It says anger always supports such a person in their transgression. So you are in a body of sin. A body shaped for sin. You have to deny it. You have to deny it. Or else this body of sin is going to lead you into sin, which leads to what? Death. The wages of sin is death. Matthew 16:24, people, that's the answer to every single question you can ask. What if this? What if the Matthew 16:24? This ruach always moves with falsehood at the rise. Always. In order that such deeds may. So that's why you hear sometimes, you hear some killings. And you hear how brutal it is. They say, what could get into these people? What could get into these people to actually have them to be like this? And the answer? Satan moves with falsehood in order that such deeds may be done through savagery and deception. So you hear people, and you hear someone has died, and you hear that they've cut up their body parts and all of this. This is it, people. Understand then the power of anger, that it is senseless. So any believer now, people, you cannot be getting angry. And then there is an antidote that was given. Shaul said, let not the sun go down on your anger. Yes? You see, people, especially when you're in the world, you see, before the sun goes down, before sunset, you need to find a little space and go and pray. I'm giving you an advice. Not let the sun go down on your anger. You need to find a little space before the sun sets. And you go and you pray. Ask for forgiveness for yourself if you were angry, for that person who has angered you or has brought you to the point where they are doing something in your life. Ask forgiveness. So the sun does not go down on your anger. Because sometimes you might not be angry with the person at that point, but by the time the sun goes down and thoughts start coming to you, you start to get angry. So you have to clean it up before the sun goes down. Yes? So that you are not the victim of this. Understand then the power of anger, that it is senseless. First, it arouses by spoken word, then by actions it gives strength to the one who is aroused. By sharp losses it perturbs his mind, and thus arouses his soul with great anger. So first of all, it I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. It arouses by spoken word. Man, how many times even believe among believers? I can't believe you said this. I can't believe it. Man, those things are foolishness, man. We are all learning. We are all growing. We might do something and it is wrong. Man, forgive the person. And then when the time is opportune, you go and tell the person that they're wrong. If you can, tell them at the right time. Yes, but you don't want to stir up anger. Because the thing with anger, if you tell people sometimes and you don't give a soft answer, then it will stir up their wrath. So you have to know when to speak. If you can speak at that time, you speak. If not, you speak at another time. But don't get aroused by spoken word. Don't get angry by a word that is said. First, it arouses by spoken word. Then by actions, it gives strength to the one who is aroused. You become aroused by your action. By sharp losses, it perturbs his mind. So the mind there, every minute that person comes on your mind, every minute that thing comes on your mind, and thus arouses his soul with great anger, and you get angry. When anyone speaks against you, do not be moved to anger. I don't know who is speaking. I didn't come to speak about anger today, but this is it. And if anyone praises you as being kind, do not be elated, nor be carried away, neither by displeasure nor by shame. So there are two sides to it. If anyone speaks against you, do not be moved to anger. Just look at it and say, oh, okay, that's how it is. That's how you feel. Everyone has a right to their opinion. That is what you feel. Okay, I'll look into what you say. Do not be moved to anger. Then there's the praise now, the other side. People coming to praise you as being kind or being nice or being good or being skillful or being knowledgeable or being this or being that. Do not be elated. Yes? Nor be carried away. Don't let it get to your head. Be humble. Because guess what? When someone exalts you, it's going to say it. When someone exalts you and you start feeling good about it, when someone comes and goes against it, you are going to feel justified that, hey, they are going against me. You're going to get angry. So if nothing means anything to you, if you have no value or put any value in yourself or in your position or what you do or who you are, if you put no value when someone speaks against your valueless self, you will get no anger. Come upon somebody come say, oh, you're nothing, you're nobody, you're nothing but such and such. So, oh, you'll agree and say, oh, yes. Oh, yes, I am. Nothing but what the Most High makes me. I am nothing but a servant of the Most High. And that is where I place my value. Eh? Serving the Most High. Serving my brothers and sisters. I am not here to be given accolades. I'm not here to be exalted, to be loved. If you are a believer and you're there to be loved, you will never do Yahuwah's work. Because what did Mashiach say? The world loves its own and it will hate others. First, verse 4. First, it is pleasant to hear. That is when somebody tells you something good. First, it is pleasant to hear, and thus it sharpens the mind to be sensitive to some provocation. So when somebody tells you something nice, something flattering about yourself, yes, you become sensitive now to provocation because you don't want to hear. This dirty self here doesn't want to hear anything against that because it now values itself to a certain standard. You go against the standard, this dirty self is going to get angry because you are now messing with my esteem. First, it is pleasant to hear, and thus it sharpens the mind to be sensitive to some provocation. And then, when anyone is aroused by anger, it makes him suppose his self-esteem is justified. Yes, I am good. I am Kazakh. Yeah, I preach and teach on YouTube. Yeah. I am whatever someone wants to say. Someone comes and says, oh, you're a great teacher. I am a great teacher. And someone says, I say, Kazaki, you're teaching nothing but foolishness, nothing but garbage. Hey, if I take up that thing and run with it and say, oh, I'm such a great teacher, when someone comes and says, he's speaking foolishness, I'm thinking, man, that pride is going to stand up in me. Who do you think you're speaking to? Who do you think? Hey, I am the great teacher here. I'm just using that as an example. Yes? If you suffer a loss, if you undergo the destruction of anything, do not become alarmed, my children, because this Ruach makes one desire what is transitory in order that he might be made angry over what he is missing. So if you lose something, something is destroyed, don't get flustered. Yeah? Don't get flustered. I saw the thing said. That's just how it is, as they say in English. Yeah? If you lose something by your own action or otherwise, do not be sorrowful. For grief arouses anger as well as deceit. Grief is another thing. Grief, man, you get so angry and miserable, you start feeling down. When you start feeling down, the angel of wickedness starts speaking to you. Start telling you to do all sorts of foolishness once again. Testament of Dan, chapter 4, verse 7, page 54. The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Anger and falsehood together are a double-edged evil. Both of them work together. And work together to perturb the reason. And when the soul is continually perturbed, Yahuwah withdraws from it, and Belial rules it. I need a jingle for this one. I need a horn or something, a trumpet, something. Anger and falsehood, anger and lies, people, are a double-edged evil. Have you ever seen people who get angry and then they get angry, they tell so much lies on you? So much lies, 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 lies. And you say, what is this? Anger and evil and falsehood are a double-edged evil. And they work together to perturb the soul. And when the soul is continually perturbed, Yahuwah leaves you alone. Say, I'm not going to dwell in any angry bird. And Satan does what? Rules over you. There are many believers today, people I know. And let me tell you something, I know and I see Belial ruling. Yeah. You see, people who get angry easy. People who get angered and have to take out their anger. People who get angry and have to lash at you, have to quarrel at you, have to curse, have to go. People who are afraid to say certain things too. Because they will get angry. Testament of Dan, chapter 4, verse 7, page 54. Anger and falsehood together are a double-edged evil and work together to perturb the reason, and when the soul is continually perturbed, Yahuwah withdraws from it, and Belial, Satan, rules it. Observe Yahuwah's commandment then, my children, and keep his Torah. Avoid wrath and hate lying, in order that Yahuwah may dwell among you, and Belial, Satan, may flee from you. Deny self. Deny self. Okay? Boy, the time is going. So what time? Oh, we've gone a long time. So you know what? What do? I got so much more to go, but we are going to stop it. Yes. Should we? Let me just go and see what else we can do. This one probably needs a little more. So we have to become truly spiritual, or the devil will be able to use us at his will. Matthew 16, 21 to 26, that is what we just did. Okay? So we have to become dead to sin. So, baptism. It's another thing. You know, this thing keeps coming up. And a lot of people don't believe in baptism. But it's something that the Most High gave us. The Most High gave us baptism. As in the Old Testament, there were ritual ways of becoming clean. Baptism is the Most High's way of cleansing, because it is through emunah. It is through belief in Hamashiach. The word says, repent and be baptized. First you repent. First you confess what you have done wrong. And you resolve not to do it again. It is a turnaround, a change from the old person. You sum up everything that you've done. I repent, I've been a sinful, dirty fellow. This has to change. Everything has to come to an end now, and it is going to stop now. I will no longer live in sin, no longer. And then you go under. What happens when you go under? Let's go to Romans 6, verse 3 to 14. Let's see the operation that takes place. Spiritual things are for spiritual people. That's why a lot of people can't understand baptism. I remember some Christians, baptism, it's just a show. It's just for show. It's just for they don't understand the spiritual implication of baptism. Know ye not that so many of us were baptized into Yahusha HaMashiach, were baptized into his death? Baptism is you partaking of Hamashiach's death. You repent, you cleanse yourself first. Then you go under the water, which is being baptized into his death. You're dying as he died. You die to this world. You die to the old man. When you repent and you baptize, you take that old man of flesh, you take the flesh and you put the flesh under and said, flesh, you dead. You're dead. Therefore, we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Hamashiach was raised up from the dead by the splendor of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. You're dead under the water. When you come up in newness of life, with a life that is resolved, a mind that is resolved to walk in perfect righteousness, a mind that is resolved to deny self, a mind that is resolved to be a slave to Yahuwah, to be a servant to Yahuwah, not having any right for anything of myself. No more me, my, I. But you, they, them, he. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. So you're crucified with him, you're going to rise with him. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. So you deny yourself. You put this dirty body of death under the water. Dead in Yahushua Mashiach. So spiritually, in your mind, in your heart, that is where the operation takes place, when the law can now be written in your heart. Because when that happens with the body, a spiritual operation takes place even down to your DNA, where you now have the desire for righteousness. You have the desire to do that which is right. Because that spiritual operation works something in you that you cannot see, that you cannot discern, but the spiritual man will understand, but the natural man will not. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin, for he that is dead is freed from sin. So when you go under the water and the sinful body is dead, you now are free from sin, just as when a natural man is dead in this world, he becomes free from sin. No more a sinner. No more sin is on him. He is dead. Yeah? All right. Where were we again? Oh, we go to verse 14. Now, if we be dead with Hamashiach, we believe that we shall also live with him. So, spiritually, we are physically we are dead when we go under the water, because this body cannot be literally dead, or else you're dead. But the death, the spiritual death, is when you go under the water. What is that humming? It's when you go under the water. Knowing that Hamashiach, being raised from the dead, dieth no more, death hath no more dominion over him. For in that he died unto sin once, but in that he lived unto Aluah. Likewise, we have to try to die to sin with that baptism and living unto Aluah. Likewise, reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Aluah through Yahusha Mashiach our Master. How are we alive through Yahusha Mashiach? When we deny ourselves and follow him. Eh? Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof. So when you come out of that immersion, even now where we are now, don't let sin reign in your body for you to obey it in the lust. Eh? You should resolve not to sin again. You have some people now, Christians, oh, we all have to sin. We are all sinners. Look at this verse, people. That's death. That religion is a religion of death. It is Satan's religion. Let not sin reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in the lust thereof, because you're supposed to be dead to sin so that you can walk, you can arise with Yahusha. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin. Don't let your body lead you to do that which is unrighteous. But yield yourselves unto Aluah as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto Aluah. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under favor, what they call grace. So sin will not have dominion over you. You're under the grace of Yahusha HaMashiach, of Yahuwah, through Yahusha HaMashiach. Then you will be able to walk in righteousness. Okay, so I think we'll stop here for today. It's a two-part teaching, and the second part this first part took a whole long time to go. So, streaming for 2:22. This is a good time for us to stop here. Let me see, do you have any questions? If you have any questions for those who are online, those who are in the Zoom, please, questions, please. Let me go back and see if I see anything. Yes, Puchna from Kansas City, Missouri. Shalom, Shamarian. Shalom, Wesley. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hey. Anyone with any questions? I'm going. Uh-huh. Shalom, D'Angelo. That name of that disease that they are getting ready to unleash. Yada ya, Verona Locke, asking anyone from Soweto on this chat. I don't know. What question? Someone said another lockdown coming. And someone said, I think so too. Eventually, it's going to happen. Someone is saying we must maintain a spirit of humility. We can pray for more spiritual discernment, can't we? Yes, we can. but we also can help ourselves, of course, in this discernment, for us to discern. All right? We can help ourselves by praying, fasting, focusing on the will of the Most High, focusing on spiritual things, focusing away from the things of this world. All right. Uh-huh. Let me see. He spoke in parables. The message is enough for everybody. The thing enough for everybody. Hey. All right. Judah said this sermon came at the perfect time for me, not a coincidence. All praises. I was wondering who it was for. Yeah? Yes, Sherry. Sherry, you sent me an email. Yes, I'm supposed to email you back with my phone number so that we can speak. Yeah, it's easier, it's better, it's preferred for me to speak with you. And so I'll send my phone in the email. All right. Edifying and clarification. All right, someone asking for my email address. I think I set up, I think this email address. I think I'm gonna start using this one as all the others. Yes, there's my email address. Thank you for the lesson. Hallelujah. It was right on time. I had a dream about anger last night. I feel the Ruach was teaching me about the results of anger and wanting me to stay free from anger. Yada Yahuwah. These are things I like to hear. Sometimes you're doing this and you're wondering, who is this for? You know what I mean? Yeah, if you sent email, that's why, I sent you that email. Because if you send emails to the others, I might not receive it. But I know I'll receive it at that one. All right? So, yeah. Use that one, please. All right? What's going on in the Zoom? Everybody clear, everybody on point. Everyone's good. All right. So, let me get this thing. All right. So, for those who are on YouTube, of course, thank you all for watching. And I hope it was edifying to you. Only hope it spoke to you. And Yahuwah willing, the other part of it, we will be able to do it. Okay? So, thank you. And shalom. I will resend a correct one. All right. Thank you all. And do have a great Shabbat. All right. Shalom, Shamarion, as well. 2.5 hours to be exact. Let us stop it there. Shalom.